Again, we welcome you, Sudhir sir, and
Thank you.
I would like you to take the presentation now and then start.
Thank you, Sweta, for nice presentation, and thank you, Smriti, and all associated members for inviting me for this presentation. So I will share my PPT now. Just 1 minute. Is PPT is visible?
Yes, Sudhir, it's visible.
Okay. Today I will be more talking about the origin of stone rather than architecture and associated terminologies. So how the stones has been originated, which has been used to make such beautiful architectural sites in India or architectural heritage buildings. Okay, so before going to that topic, I will go through where and how these stones or rocks has been made. What is the process behind this? How we get our marbles? Like we use marbles, sandstone, and these rock in different architectural site. Like we have used Makrana marbles in many famous Indian architectural site, Taj Mahal and others. So, like we have used red sandstone in our Red Fort. So let's see how these stones has been made naturally through the earth. Okay, so this is a cross section of our earth. Okay, so just 1 minute. Okay, laser is visible now na? Okay, so our earth is divided into three parts. Okay, first one, thinner layer is crust. Okay, up to 33 kilometer, average thickness is 33 kilometer. Then mantle up to 2900 kilometer. Then your core, and that is up to 6400 kilometer. Okay, so what we observe, all the rock structure is only on the crust, which is around 33 kilometer of earth's crust. It is like the, if you have an apple, so the upper layer, that is peel of that apple, is something like crust. Okay, so all the structures and rocks what we observe, we only observe and study that thing only, that around 30 kilometer thick layer. Okay, so this is our biosphere. Okay, so our different air layer and environmental layers. So how the different type of rocks form, we will know more about them here. So what happened? Suppose this is the crust. We are studying our yeah, studying about the processes, how the rocks are being made. So there are three type of rocks. First is igneous, second is metamorphic, third is sedimentary. Okay, so how sedimentary rocks are made? Your sedimentary rocks are made like this. Okay, suppose there is a basin or ocean basin or lake or something. So your rock types or whatever layer of stones are preserved there, they will break with time and be deposited in the water. Okay, so you will get layer by layer by layer, layer by layer by layer in the ocean basin. Okay, in the ocean basin you will get layer by layer. So the fine particle will deposit in ocean basin, and with time they will lithify due to water pressure and due to sediment load. Okay, the lower layer will get lithified. So in this way you will get sandstone here in this part. So what happens, our earth is a dynamic planet. Okay, our crust is moving continuously. So if it is moving and there are many plates in the earth system, so what happens, suppose this is one plate, this is one plate. Okay, this is one plate, this is another plate. What happens when two plates move? Suppose two plates are moving towards each other. Okay, towards each other, then one denser plate, denser and colder plate will get subducted into this lighter plate. Okay, when this plate gets subducted, what will happen? As you go inside the earth, the temperature and pressure will increase. Okay, so your sedimentary rock, this sedimentary rock will go through immense temperature and pressure. Then what will happen? As the temperature and pressure will increase, they will metamorphose. Metamorphose means their mineral structural will change, mineral, and also the morphology of that sediment layer will change. So you will get metamorphic rock as the temperature and pressure of these sediments will increase. So here you will get more compact and lithified rock, these metamorphic rocks. These are sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks, like you will get sandstone, red sandstone, from which your red fort is made of. And here you will get metamorphic rocks like marble, khondalite, etc. Metamorphic rock like Taj Mahal and khondalite, from which Konark temple is made of. Okay, so and when the rocks or these rocks will go into more depth as these plates are moving, this is denser plate and this is lighter plate. Okay, so as the plate continuous moves, this plate subducts downwards and our temperature pressure increases further. Then what will happen? After a certain time the rock melt, after a certain time the rock will get melt. Okay, this will get melt. Now your sedimentary rock has been metamorphosed and turned into metamorphic rock. Now metamorphic rock and sedimentary rock both will get just one minute. Just both will get your as temperature and pressure increases, both will get melted, and as here we get now molten rocks. Okay, what will happen? As here we have immense temperature and pressure. Okay, we have immense temperature and pressure. If there is any fracture along this, then what will happen? The pressure will release now, and along the pressure the melt will fall. So our this molten rock will due to here we have high pressure. Okay, high pressure, and here we have low pressure. Then what will happen? Anything will move from a higher pressure and temperature to lower pressure and temperature in nature. Na? So from here our molten magma will erupt towards the earth's surface, like here. Our molten lava will erupt on the earth's surface. Okay, on the earth's surface. This is different case. So what will happen here? We will get igneous rock, and also at some depth we will get igneous rock. Suppose molten lava is traveling from here, from deeper crust up to the upper crust. Okay, so as here temperature pressure is high, so it is in molten form. As it travels towards the surface, its temperature and pressure gets reduced. So some rocks will solidify here just below the earth's surface. Okay, these are called intrusive igneous rocks, and this will have a compact crystalline type of a structure. Okay, and have coarse grained. These are coarse grain in nature, and which are erupted on the surface. What will happen? Suppose here rock melts at around 1000 to 1200 degrees Celsius, and here your temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. So it is like relative to this is like 0 degrees Celsius. So what will happen? Here you will get very fine grained rock, igneous rock. These are called extrusive igneous rocks. Extrusive igneous rocks. Okay, extrusive igneous rock are glassy, glassy material. Okay, very fine grained rock. So this is the this is the basic idea through which our basically sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous rock forms in nature. Okay, so now at least you have basic idea. This is another pictorial diagram to show how these three are interrelated. Like in nature, now it is sedimentary rock. Okay, this is sedimentary. Suppose this is sedimentary rock. What happens after sometimes it get buried and throws some reason, through faulting and other reason, it get into more depth. So what will happen? Temperature and pressure will increase. Okay, so temperature and pressure will increase. So in this case we will get metamorphosed rock. Suppose in sedimentary rock, here your if there are sandstone, then we will get metamorphic rock like quartzite. Okay, and if here we have calcium carbonate or calcite rock, okay, okay, calcite rock, then we will get here like marble. Okay, marble, which are due to temperature and pressure, which are more compacted and their pore spaces has been reduced. So through metamorphism we will get here metamorphosed rock, as the sedimentary rock has been buried, so this has been converted into metamorphic rock. Okay, so again our metamorphic rock, sandstone or any metamorphic rock, as it goes down through some tectonic plates or through burial or through faulting, so what will happen? More pressure temperature will increase. Okay, more pressure temperature will increase. So as pressure temperature will increase, what will happen to the rock? It will melt, and when it will melt, it forms the magma. Then again through some fractures, as here it is high pressure and temperature, and here low pressure and temperature, so magma will move here towards the surface, and we will form the extrusive igneous rocks. Okay, and if magma crystallizes here at this place, slowly, so at this place the minerals will cool at slow rate. Okay, so here we will get some coarse grain igneous rock, compact igneous rock, and here we will get fine grain igneous rock or glassy material. Okay, and again from igneous rock, once it is exposed to the surface through material had been eroded, and these things has been eroded. Okay, so it has been exposed to the surface. Also, suppose this material has been eroded from the surface, so what will happen? It will again expose to the surface. When exposed to the earth surface, what will happen? What will happen? Through uh, through raining or some denudation processes, uh, like through breaking and all those things, it will again be transported by air or river to some sedimentary basin where water is there. So little fragments will be deposited in the basin, and again it will form sediment layer, then sedimentary rock, like this. And in same case will happen with igneous rock. Okay, this is your igneous rock. So what will happen? It will also will break through some rains or chemical weathering, or some wind erosion through wind action, and fine grain will be deposited here. Okay, so it will get converted into sedimentary rock. Okay, so this is the one cycle. Just So now you have idea why it is called rock cycle. I have given you idea, uh, sedimentary will can convert it into metamorphic rock or igneous rock, and even metamorphic and igneous rock through weathering and transportation get converted into sedimentary rock, or vice versa, like this. Okay, so in nature what happens? All rock types are played by nature in a cyclic form. Today it is sedimentary, then after a million of years, through tectonic subduction or any other processes, it will convert it into metamorphic, or again if pressure temperature increases, then it will convert it into magma and igneous rocks, and vice versa. Means these are these rock types are played in a cyclic manner, from sedimentary to metamorphic to igneous. They convert with time. Okay, in nature. So what is the distinctive features of these rocks? We will know from here. Okay, igneous rocks are a type of form due to solidification of lava or magma, which we have seen in the diagram. Okay, and it forms from magma or lava. Magma is this is magma if it cools below the surface, and lava when it cools above the surface. Okay, these are two terms. So these igneous rocks are formed by cooling or solidification of magma or lava. Okay, so sedimentary rocks are a type of rock that form by accumulation or deposition of sediments. Okay, sediments through different materials or different stones or rock types. Okay, and this is formed by sedimentation. And metamorphic rocks formed by transformation of an existing rock, whether it is sedimentary or even igneous rock could be metamorphosed. Like what? If this rock or this rock as its surface, so what happened? Suppose through tectonic processes this gets subducted. So what will happen? Your igneous rock, as pressure temperature increases, it will get metamorphosed because it has been cold here. So it will get metamorphosed, means more compacted. Your rock will get more compacted and pore spaces will be removed. Okay, and this is the process basically from the igneous rock, sedimentary rock, or existing metamorphic rock. Even your metamorphic rock will get metamorphosed. How? Suppose it has been exposed to the surface, as it has been eroded through wind or water action or through sliding, rock sliding. This has been eroded, and now it metamorphic rock has been to the surface. So what will happen from the surface? Again, through tectonic processes, through subduction, it goes towards the below the another crust, and through the increase of pressure temperature, we will get metamorphosed rock, another metamorphic rock. Okay, so these are basically three type of igneous rock, like this. This is the basically intrusive igneous rock, which has coarse, relatively coarser grain, gabbroic rock, and these are sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks, it is formed by breaking of any rock material or stones. This is deposited in sediments, and after million of years, through lithification, we get sandstone and these type of rocks. Okay, and these are metamorphic rocks. So what happens, this rock or this rock, if goes through extreme pressure and temperature, metamorphosed, and what will happen if we apply pressure and temperature through extreme pressure and temperature, the pore spaces will get lower. Pore spaces will get lower. Okay, and we will get more compacted rock in this case. Okay, so in this case, so sometimes it is a compact rock, compact crystalline rock, metamorphic rock. Sometimes what happens, like this is the case, if we have different size of minerals, or different minerals in a rock, then what will happen, they behave differently now. So pressure and temperature, suppose this is moving. Okay, so through pressure and temperature, we get some foliation, some kind of alignment of some larger minerals, and some smaller minerals we have as a ductile manner. Okay, so the smaller will behave like this streaks, and some larger class will be aligned in a particular direction. Okay, from extreme pressure and temperature. So we will start with Makarana marbles. First of all, I will tell you about Makarana marble monuments. So these are particular structures, architectural sites which has used Makarana marble as a source material for their formation, like Taj Mahal. Okay, your Taj Mahal, and Jaswant Thada, Jodhpur, and next is Victoria Memorial, Kolkata में है, and next one is Gurdwara Sahib Gurdwara, Patiala, and even is your Lakshmi Narayan Birla Temple, which is found recently. So all these structures, Taj Mahal, Victoria Palace, and Lakshmi Narayan Temple, this all famous architectural site has used Makarana marble. Okay, so let's study how these Makarana marbles has been formed. Okay, so these Makarana marbles has been transported from the Jaipur, okay, near Makarana village, Rajasthan. So this is the geological map of that particular area, and these are these Makarana marble. Like this is in the name. Makarana has been came from that particular village where this kind of marble is found, and this is marble. Marble means metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock of what? Of your calcite, CaCO3, calcium calcite. Your calcite sedimentary deposits has been metamorphosed and converted into marbles. So this is the geological formation of that particular area. This is Arauli Delhi mobile belt, from which we extract Makrana marbles. Okay, so these are different terrains, and this is our South Delhi fold belt. This whole terrain is called Arauli Delhi mobile belt. Okay, Arauli hills you have seen. So this is South Delhi fold belt, this is Ajmer, this is Makarana, and our Makarana marbles is from where? It is from North Delhi terrain. Okay, so we have extracted it from here, and the age of these marbles is around more than 1000 million year. Okay, more than 1000 million year. These marbles has been formed through metamorphism more than million years. How this has been formed? Suppose this is basin. At the presently here you will get large and peaked hills like in Arauli Delhi mobile belt. There are 800. This is 800-kilometer long mobile belts of mountain chains. Okay, so how this has been formed? Let's look a look. Suppose at means before there was a mountain. This has been a basin. Okay, this has been a basin. Suppose like this. So what happened when there is a basin? It is water. Suppose water filled basin, and through sedimentation, what will happen? Here you will get sedimentary deposit. Okay, here you will get sedimentary deposit. So what happens at around 1000, more than 1000 million years? This plate and this plate. Okay, this plate here, this plate is called Bundelkhand Craton, and this plate is called Arabian Nubian that time of silt. Okay, these plates move towards each other. Okay, moves towards each other. Then what happened? These particular sediments has gone through intense pressure and temperature through along the mobile belt, because these two plates were moving. Okay, and what will happen? This sediment will get metamorphosed. Okay, this sediment will get metamorphosed, and these CaCO3 will get converted into marbles. Then again, after some times, through erosion and tectonic exhumation along the fracture, these marbles has been uplifted to the surface. Okay, uplifted to the surface from middle lower crust to the surface, like your 20 kilometer from 20 kilometer up to 0 kilometer. That's why we are founding these particular marbles at the earth's crust at the present time, because metamorphism happens when at some depth, na, but we are finding these marble at the surface. So how this has been formed? This is the process. Like first sedimentation has been happened in the basin, then plates has been two plates has been collided. This particular sediment has been metamorphosed. Now this upper layer has been removed through erosion, and this has been particular metamorphosed stone now has been exhumed to the surface. So this is the process of formation of Makrana marbles, and these are the field site or queries from which marble particular marble has been dug up. This is the handy specimen. You can see that calcite crystal, white calcite crystal. Why this Makrana marble is particular famous? Because it has pure, even in thin section. These are thin section images. These are thin section images. When you basically cut and make slice of 0.3 micron thin layer and place it into the glass, then you when you will see it through the microscope, you will find these structure. This is calcite mineral through which these Makrana marbles are made of. Okay, so you can see there are in this particular marble there is no impurity. That's so, and calcite is white color. That's why it is like your perfectly pure white marbles. That's why it is famous for. If it has some impurities, suppose here you will get different crystalline minerals, okay. So what will happen if you get like uh, 2 3 mineral within a rock, then they have different strength now. So over time, suppose this has more strength, this has less strength, or this is reactant with water. Suppose rain happens and this dissolved with water or something like that. So what will happen? The structural integrity of this particular stone is reduced. But this is pure calcite. Okay, you can see these are calcite. These are calcite minerals. These are calcite minerals. These are calcite interlocking minerals. Like they have been uh, like very compact and interlocking structures, so its strength is more than other rocks. Plus it is from made from pure calcite, that's why it is pure white and beautiful. That's why we have used in this particular rock type in many architectural monuments like Taj Mahal and Jaswantthada Jodhpur Mahal and Victoria Palace, Kolkata, and our Dudhikaran Sahib Gurudwara Patiala, and newly formed Lakshmi Narayan Temple, Jaipur, or Birla Temple, what we'll call it. Next one is Ajanta Ellora caves. We will talk about next. One is Deccan basalt. Okay. So you have heard that these are the some largest monolithic structures or architectural monuments which are carved from carved from at that particular place. Okay. So these are first of all I want to show you the photographs of these things you are seeing, these black color rocks, black color rocks or stones, these stones. So these are basalts. Okay, these are basalts. So these are some monolithic architectural sites which has been carved from that particular place. Okay, So how these has been formed, how these basalts are formed at that particular place. Okay, what is the story behind these stone, how they has been formed? So as we know, Ajanta Ellora caves are in Maharashtra, near Aurangabad in India. So these particular rocks are around 65 million year age. Okay, these are around, the age of these rocks are around 65 million year olds. So how they has formed, how we get these large type of rock formation, these are also basically basalt flows. These are basically basalt flows. How these has been formed? These are, they has been formed through igneous activity. In the second slide I was talking about, when the pressure temperature exceeds, what will happen? From around 1200 degrees Celsius or more than 1000 degrees Celsius, your rock will get melted and will form a lava magma chamber. Okay, and then through the fractures, they will erupt on the earth's surface. Okay, erupt on the earth's surface. So but what will happen if they erupt on the earth surface? We will get some small area batholiths, or small area igneous provenance. Okay, but these are called large igneous provenances. Why? And where we get such large amount of magma, to get such large amount of basaltic flows. So what happened in this case? This is a slightly different case than that particular formation of Makrana marbles. Okay, in here the lithospheric plates were moving, and then what happened? Metamorphism happened, and there are some also igneous intrusion. You will found here, 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 igneous intrusion or granites. But the formation of Deccan basalt is different. Suppose this is continental crust, ठीक? Then this is lithosphere. This is our Indian plate. At that time, what happens? Our Indian plate was moving. Okay, Indian plate was moving in this direction through northward. Okay, through northward. So here we have hot mantle plume, as we have discussed in the first slide. These are crust 33 kilometer and mantle up to 2900 kilometer. Okay, so within mantle, what happens? There are some places where we get extreme pressure and temperature. So this is outer core in liquid form. Okay, in liquid form. So here our magma or liquid is like boiling in this manner. We are having some convection type of cycle here. But sometime what happens? This particular fluid or heat comes into the mantle, and here we get large volume of this convecting particular cycles, heat cycles, and which creates large ocean of magma. Okay, suppose this creates large of ocean of magma. So when this create large ocean of magma, and here pressure is so much, means relative to crust, here we get much higher pressure and temperature. So if sufficient melt is generated here, so we don't need any particular fracture to erupt for the eruption of this magma ocean. It creates sufficient or some sufficient amount of pressure and heat. Okay, so if our suppose lithospheric plates are moving like this, so it will remain here only. As the plates moves, we will get here eruption, and after some times this plate will be moving now, so this will get here after some time, this point will get here after some time. So the plate is moving, but our this mantle plume is static, have a large amount of high pressure magma chamber, which is continuously erupting up until its pressure exhausted. So if we have magma chamber like this, we will get enormous amount of extrusive igneous rocks. Okay, so this is the mechanism through which we get these type of particular flows. Okay, so what happens as Indian plate is moving, okay, through northward. So suppose magma chamber from mantle plume is erupting, first here, then here, then here. This is stationary. Suppose you have a paper, okay, you have moving the paper, but you have a flame, okay, flame, burning flame here. So what will happen? Paper is moving here, it will be burned here, like big time now. So here we will get large amount of flow basalt, okay, because we have a large amount of magma ocean, so high pressure and temperature, and through convection what will happen? This will rise, and this will rise, and here will erupt, and as it erupts it will cool, and here its temperature is around more than 1000 degrees Celsius, and here is 25 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Celsius, okay, 25 degrees Celsius. So relatively it's like 0 degrees Celsius, okay. So it will cool rapidly. So when anything cools rapidly, what will happen? It will have less time to crystallize its mineral. So its minerals are very fine grained, okay. So the minerals which it contains are basically pyroxene, plagioclase, and olivine, okay. So this is the mechanism of formation of these particular two caves, which has been later carved by in those particular basalt. Beautiful structures and all these things has been carved, and this is the story how it has been formed, basically, okay. So first one, you have the Makrana marbles, which has been formed through metamorphism due to the movement of Bundelkhand Craton and Arabian Nubian Shield, and its age is greater than 1000 million year. Second one is Deccan basalt, which is around 65 million year. Okay, this is the mechanism, and through hot mantle plume, it will go towards the continental crust, and it will move like this, and first here will form, then here will form, then we will get like a series of flows, okay, here. And this is also the cause for the mass extinction of several species including dinosaurs around 65 million years during Cretaceous period. Those has been extinct now because of large amount of eruption. These eruptions has included such large amount of gaseous product that it is said that it has covered the atmosphere of Earth around with a thick layer around 1 month. The light from the sun has not reached to the surface. Okay, so this was the event through which our Deccan basalt has been formed, and in which our Ajanta and Ellora caves has been dead. So next one is Konark Temple. Yeah, you can see this beautiful temple, and okay, Konark Sun Temple, and you can see that there are basically this has been uh, many parts of this temple has been destroyed. Why? Because it is made of khondalite. Okay, khondalite, which is also a metamorphic rock. Here you see khondalite. How it is formed? Khondalite, and the stones for this temple. This is in Odisha. Okay, and the stones for this temple has been from Tamil Nadu. Okay, from here, from southern, geologically we called it southern granulite terrain, and this age of this particular uh, stone is greater than 2000 million years. Okay, so how this how the stones has been found, I will tell, and why some parts of Konark temple has been destroyed or is disintegrating. What is the reason behind it, I will discuss. So this is the particular area from where we get this kind of rock, and these rocks are containing your garnet, feldspar. These are feldspar minerals, these are garnet, and there are sillimanite minerals, these minerals. Okay, and there are some biotite around the garnet. There are some biotites. How these are formed? Suppose there is sedimentary basin, again sedimentary basin, then this time some mafic igneous rock has been, mafic means which contain iron rich minerals. Okay, these dark color minerals are iron rich, iron and magnesium rich minerals. So this time what happens? Iron and magnesium rich metamorphic and igneous rocks has been broken and deposited in a sedimentary basin, sedimentary basin. Then after some time what happens? It becomes old, and its density, like what how the how subduction happens. One heavier plate goes down under the lighter plate na, through that subduction happens na. So with time what happens basically, uh, uh, as we get these sedimentary deposit, iron rich and Fe rich deposit, these sediments has been deposited and lithified and converted into sandstone. Then through subduction what will happen? Around 25 kilometer within the earth's crust, these khondalites are formed around 25 kilometer within the earth crust. Okay, so these particular rocks has been disintegrated igneous and metamorphic iron and manganese-rich rocks sediments has been subducted up to 25 kilometer to contain sufficient pressure and temperature around 800 temperature around 800 degrees Celsius. Then it has been converted into khondalite rock. How it has been converted? I have told in the previous slide now. If it has different minerals, then you can see the layering due to pressure and temperature. What will happen? The minerals will align as the pressure increases. Okay. So if it is monomineralic, like your marble, which is carbonate rock, calcite minerals, only one mineral. So there will you will not find that kind of layering in that particular rock. But if it has different minerals, then you will get this layer type of structure. This is called cystosity. Okay? Cystosity or foliated rock in the through metamorphism. Okay, so here we get a different type of minerals. This is not monomineralic, although it is metamorphosed, compacted, has less pore spaces, but we have some certain minerals like your garnet, your biotite, which are weak minerals. Okay, which are weak minerals compared to sillimanite, feldspar. Okay, so with time, if through weathering and water action, wind action, these minerals will get eroded, like will get eroded, or through solution will these mineral will get out and will develop a crack. That's why this type of monument which are formed by these type of rocks are more easily susceptible to weathering and destruction, which we are currently observing in our Konark temple. Rather than if we use a monomineralic or monolithic rock, then we have less chance of damage and destruction, like these Makrana marbles, which is made by metamorphism of pure calcite. So that's why these are basically more stable structures than this particular Konark Sun Temple. And this is next one is Red Fort. Red Fort, as by the name, you can imagine why it is called Red Fort. Red due to is a red color, and it is a fort. And red color, why? Because it is made of red sandstone. Sandstone, first type of rock I have told, which is formed in sedimentary basin. Okay, sedimentary basin. Through different rock type, sediments will get deposited. Okay, sediments will get deposited, and after some lithification, like sediments has been deposited through lithification and some overburden pressure, this will convert into compact sandstones. Okay, through sedimentation, and after some time, suppose this loose sediment or loose cover has been eroded through air or wind or through faulting, these blocks has been removed. So then we will get this particular type of sandstone. And red color, where it comes from? Red color comes from Fe rich minerals. So in this sedimentation, it indicates that we have Fe rich minerals from which these sediments has been derived. Okay, so these are the query of red sandstones. And thank you. I think you have enjoyed the rocky story, how this has been formed. any questions related to the how the rocks form. Basically, I'm no expert in architecture and all those things, so I will be happy to answer any query related to the formation of rocks.
Thank you, sir, for that engaging lecture. It was actually more like a storytelling than just a lecture to listen to. It was very well paced, and also it was easy to understand. And also with your
Thank you.
interaction through drawing, I think it was much more easier to understand how the plates interacted with each other. And as an architect, we only look at how humans, um, uh,
Made those structures.
and for me, I think it was for the first time that how these resources are formed to look at that aspect was something new. And the rock cycle was extremely new for me. Like we have studied water cycle बचपन से लेके बड़े होने तक, but rock cycle is something which was a new learning for me from sedimentary to metamorphic and igneous, and
Yes.
then igneous to metamorphic if there is less pressure or something like that.
Yes.
So I think that was very engaging for me. Also, I think one of the questions that you answered through your presentation was I had a question about Ajanta Ellora. So I had written it down like what kind of rock that is and why it happened. But
That can
you
be
already
solved.
covered it towards the end of it, yes. And uh, I have no questions from my end because I was satisfied with it, and I really appreciated how you related, how you bridged the stones and then architectural monuments, and it was easier for us to understand it better. So, if anybody else has any questions, comments, observations, anything, please step
I would
in.
actually like to thank Sudhir because I gave him a very short notice and this was very, very elaborate and quite passionately explained. And
Thank
I
you, Rashmi.
love the, yeah, and I love the explanation of the monoliths and, the use of marble in Taj Mahal. And then also the way you try to make us understand which structure is more stable and why Konark structure is less stable. So, and also what Shweta was pointing out in the Ajanta and Ellora caves, as architects, we have